Guys, welcome to the podcast, Smart Roofer Systems. My name is Jacob,
My name's Tate Jordan.
and today we're talking about you're busy, but you're broke. Why? Why are you busy and broke at the same time? You're selling roofs, you're out doing roof projects, but you don't feel like the money's coming back to you in the way that's meaningful for you and yourself and your business and your life and everything else under the sun. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. Is that fair?
I think that's great. I can relate with that. So,
There's a lot of reasons why.
there's a lot of reasons why. I mean, you could be working, slaving, installing, and everything like that, but if the money's not there and you don't know your margins and you don't know the difference between profit compared to net profit and your overhead, it could be working for free.
You got to know your numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah. The first point that I want to lead into here, guys, by the way, you mentioned selling on price.
Yeah.
And when we say selling on price, we're talking about when you go out in front of a customer and they say, hey, so-and-so is cheaper, you're like, hey, let's try to beat them, right? If you just take them at their word and you just drop your price just because, what does that do? I mean,
It's stupid.
It is.
I think early on in career, I think a lot of roofers, like a lot of sales guys, they don't understand the value of what they bring, and they don't show that. And I always say, when someone says, "Oh, so and so is cheaper," well, are we competing? Are we showing apples to apples, or apples to oranges, right? We're not. Are we competing the same product? And that's what I was trying to say earlier. But the big thing is, let's look at the line items, right? Like, are they offering the same product and warranty that I'm offering? And do they have a 5-star experience? Do they have, for us, are they Master Elite? So therefore, if they go out of business or anything and it goes wrong, you're not just covered by us, but you're covered by the manufacturer to get it replaced.
Very true.
So when someone always says, hey, so-and-so is cheaper, Joe's Roofing is a lot cheaper. And I'm like, well, Joe's Roofing also has 16 L&I violations. And I don't like to say, mud on anyone, right?
Talk bad about them. Contractors.
But, I know in my mind that we're better and the value's there.
Yep.
And so that's where I'm like, okay, well, are they selling the same product that we are? Did they sit down with you also and go over the products, tell you history, break it all down? Or did they just send you a quote?
Yeah, exactly.
Did they spend time to actually look at what's going on in your attic, what's going on, with your gutter system, what's going on with, maybe you don't have good, adequate, ventilation on it.
Yeah, the value you bring is not just in your products, but the way that you present yourself when you're at the appointment, how you run your appointment, the whole thing front to back, the products, the appointment, the trust that you build with the customer, and what do homeowners care about? What's the trust factor? Mostly Google reviews. People are looking online at reviews. That's an instant credibility. Yeah. If you don't have those, so the more you can stack that up in your favor, the more it's if you don't feel like you're valuable enough, you're going to compete on price. But if you do everything you can in your power to build up the value that you can build up, whereas dude, we're always looking in the attic. We're always checking to see if there's 2 layers of shingles. We're always doing a roof inspection every single time. We don't ever not do it. Yeah. And the customer knows that when we show up, we run our stuff. I'll show up, set the agenda. Hey, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go up on the roof, and then I'm going to go in the attic. Then we're going to sit down at the table. Then I'm going to run you through this. And they're like, cool. And then I do exactly that. And I'm very thorough. And I'll tell you what, I've won tons of jobs just by looking in the attic because the last company did it. And that alone tells you something. You're providing value to them by getting up in their attic, taking photos, showing it to them. You've built now value in their mind. Now, at that point, hey, they're willing to pay more for your products and you because they trust you, and your company. Obviously, the reviews have to be there too, but hey, we can't be selling on price.
No. Yeah,
can't be selling on price.
Yeah, you got to be selling on what's going to make your margins, cover your overhead, and and what your percentage is too. You know, like I know some people that they're like, oh, I go low, like about 10 to 15%, and I'm like, man, how you living?
Yeah.
You know,
Making $500 on a job.
yeah,
I mean, you think about it. I think about it like this too, guys. Like, your crew is out there for, let's say, 3 days. If you took the total profit you were going to make on the job and divided it by how many days that crew was there, that's how you should be thinking about it. If it's less than $1,000 a day, that's so cheap. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like that's the lowest benchmark that I could even think about for it to make it worth it for a company. But truly, it's all a math equation, and you have to take into account your overhead, like what you're paying monthly for all your tech, your bills, your insurance, your trucks, your gas, your office space, all of that stuff. And then you can really figure out like how many jobs you need to sell at what profit margin, at how many squares in order to cover all that until you're actually profitable in your company. And this is all a math equation. But if you don't have those numbers, you won't feel it. You won't feel like you say, hey, at least I'm making money on this job, but is it enough? It's probably not.
mm-hmm.
It's probably not.
100%.
You know? Also, talking about financial clarity and talking about gross profit and net profit. This is, I mean, we were just going over this, but gross profit is what happens during the job, after the job's done, the job level expenses. So your dump, your materials, your labor, whatever you're paying your guys, your subs, their square price, permits, other tiny expenses during the job. At the end of the job, revenue minus expenses is your gross profit, which is not the end all be all at the end of the day, because you still have your end of the month line items that are your insurance, your truck. After you minimize, after you minus that gas, after you minus that, that's your net profit, which is the most important, because that tells you what you're actually taking home, right? And not even, because if you do pay yourself, you still have to pay taxes on that, right? So I want to talk a little bit about that stuff and how important that is, because most guys, I feel, are out there kind of just winging it on the financial side. And if you don't know about it, you should hire somebody who does know and who can track those numbers for you in QuickBooks or something else. I mean, you've experienced that stuff. I mean, a lot of your companies, you've been through a lot of that.
Yeah. I always say, in order for me to make accurate and good, clear decisions, I need the data, and the data is the financial numbers. I need to know what my rolling AR is. So like accounts receivable, what I have coming in. I need to know what my AP is. So my accounts payable, what do I have going out? I need to know what my ledger. So like kind of look at like, okay, what is this looking at? Why did we pay this that month? Why did we have to pay that expense? Where did that expense come from?
It was like a one-off expense maybe that might not happen every month, but
exactly, it was a little different, right? My profit and loss, I look at not just my profit and loss for the overhead of the company, but I also look at the profit and loss like as far as like when I'm doing the project. So what jobs are very profitable for me? What jobs, is new construction, killing it for me? Is insurance, doing it for me? Like what jobs is my butter, right? And so just of the roofing aspect, that's what I look at there. And then also payroll. What am I paying for? Are we fully, utilizing those employees, that team member, to their full capability, or are they not making their weight? And so I look at, and this sounds really kind of horrible, but I look at everyone as a number. And the reason being is because if they can't produce their own number, why are they there?
Yeah, there has to be some metric that you measure them by.
I do.
Yeah.
So for anyone that works for me, I call it the 3 times. So let's say, I pay them, $6,000 right a month. Well, they better be producing that times 3.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
And so, um, and I want to see adequate growth. I want to see, me, every aspect like it's measured, like with employees. I love sales, right? Because there's the commission, so I can visualize that.
Yeah.
But if we have social media, like too, right? Like our social media team, like how much content are they producing out for us? How much branding are they awareness are they putting out for us? That is, I look at those metrics, those numbers. Are they performing?
Yeah.
And so those are. It sounds kind of. I can't. It could.
I see what you mean.
Yeah.
You're saying like you have to have a benchmark for how you measure somebody's success within the company, and it should be based off of what your goals are for your company and how much you want to make. This is all a math equation, literally. It really is a math equation. It's just kind of a complex one. It's not like they teach you this stuff in school.
They don't.
Right? It is a lot of multiplication, a lot of percentages, right? I'm not the best at math, but business math is like, if you can understand business math, it will set you free. Because then if you have a goal, like let's say you want to make $1 million in personal income as a business owner, you can do that. You can literally do it and engineer that whole process from how many sales guys do I need, how many appointments do they need to take, at what closing rate do they need to be selling at what profit margin do they need to be selling at what revenue, and then on the back end,
how much am I spending in ads?
How much are you spending in ads? Yeah. Yep. And there's all these fancy terminologies like
CPA,
cost to acquire to lifetime gross profit, which is it's like your money machine number. But once you understand all that, it sets you free, because you can literally make it like you can see it all from a dashboard view, and you can figure out exactly where your weak points are, like you're talking about. If you have key people in your process who aren't being measured, and you're just hoping that they do well, I mean, maybe they don't, and then you're like, hey, what's happening here? But if you are measuring them, then you can figure out like, hey, is this person worth keeping? What do we need to do to actually help this person along? And then if we try to help them along and they're still not performing, then what do we need to do? Do we need to find somebody else to put in this place? But yeah, I agree with that.
Every company that I've had that's been successful, whether it's been, in software, fitness, restaurants, property management, and roofing, the ones that have succeeded, like I look at it this way, like I could have a gym that's doing really good, but then 2 towns away, I have a gym that's struggling. And normally that gym that's struggling is because I don't have good financial clarity.
Yeah.
And I don't have good data to look at, how's our sales team doing? How's our personal training team doing? That was the key factor between the two. Same thing in roofing. If I have a location here that's doing awesome, compared to a location here that's not doing well, most of the time I don't have the clear financial review. And so I think a lot of owners, they panic when chaos happens, and they don't look at it like, okay, I need to step back. I need to get a clear financial review on, I call it the financial health of my business and my team, and make sure that I can look at it that way instead of feelings. As a business owner, I think we operate a lot on feelings.
Yeah.
Right.
We don't want that.
And we don't want that.
No.
And you have to operate off what the numbers are.
What the numbers are telling you.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And if you let feelings get in there, it can destroy you.
100% agreed.
And feelings too, let me say this too. You can operate off feelings as far as ego. So, I did this much in revenue, but really it didn't matter. It doesn't matter if you did 38 million in revenue if you have zero money coming in for yourself, you can be broke.
You could be broke.
Yeah.
But, you could look rich and still be completely, like, even in the negative.
Yeah. And then on top of that, I mean, I see some really good companies too just go under because of debt. They take out, they borrow too much.
Yeah.
And the reason being, and I see a lot of great like real estate developers too do this too. They over leverage. They take out more than what they should have because it's their ego.
Yeah.
And it kills them, you know, and then,
it's not smart.
It's not smart. And, you know, so key metrics, like for every business, it doesn't matter what industry you are. I know today we're talking about roofing, but the key metrics, if you want to be successful in business, is to know that math, the financial math for business. And I look at it as three ways. So we have, you know, marketing. So what is our math, you know, for marketing to get leads? What's our math for sales? You know, how much does it cost me to have a sales rep? How much is that sales rep, you know, making me? And is it covering my marketing expense, right? In full, right? And so I'm a little aggressive. I say like, hey, for every guy, I should be making at least 50% of that, you know, to it. Like anything lower than that's not enough. The other side of things too is delivery. So like your delivery of the product. So you have to go out, like, you know, we're not just a consulting company, right? We have to go out and we have to buy the material.
We got to install it.
And we got to install it, but it takes money to have that truck, to have that dump ticket, you know, to buy the material. And are we making money off of that? Because of that effort, right? And so sometimes we have to load a roof. Well, was that a key factor in that delivery, right? And so the closeout on that, and then the next side is your operations. So some businesses, they just grow too fast, and they hire before they think.
Increase.
Increase.
Increase that.
And they don't have, you know, the money to do that. And so they either go out and they borrow, or they just keep dumping money in. And it's just not a good situation. So they have to look at what their operation cost is, right? And so those are the 4 areas of clarity, like with the financial health. I mean, they are also the 4 areas that you should be focusing.
Marketing, sales, delivery, operations.
Yeah, exactly. But in those 4, there's a financial tracking that needs to be done.
Yeah, absolutely. There's the money numbers in each of them.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
I was curious to ask you, because you've grown a bunch of companies and sold them. And it might be different for roofing, but for you, like if you were to go back and just restart clean slate, what's the first key hire? And this is for the people out here. What would be the first key hire for you, you know, with your track record, marketing, sales, everything like that? Who would you hire first to help assist with growing the company? Like which piece after you would you hire?
Financial. Someone that's taking care of the billing, AR, taxes. You can outsource federal like taxes. But yeah, I would definitely have a good like office bookkeeper person in play. Yeah.
Because most roofers, and I mean, even if you're a roofer and a sales rep and a good marketing guy, like you can do all that. Most people still can't do the bookkeeping and the financial, like the QuickBooks side of things, which is the most important piece. It is the most important piece, because if you can mess everything else up, but if you mess that up, and it can really.
The other side of things too, you could get a really bad person. And
that's true.
And so, I honestly believe that business owners need to be more financially like on top of it. You know, if you know my background, I used to have a thing that said like I'm all about my money, and it wasn't just about, you know, spending it, you know, making it or anything like that. I say, you know, how do I get the money? How do I
keep it,
grow the money, and then how do I keep the money? And so that's what I would always say is it's super simple, all about my money. But yeah, how do I get the money? How do I grow the money, and then or keep the money, and then how do I grow it?
Yep.
So, but yeah, I my first hire would be a good bookkeeper in house, someone paying the bills, because there's always people like I have the skill to sell. I have the skill to market, right? I also have the skill to install, which is super rare. I don't find that often. But I have a skill to understand the financial literacy, and also like attorney and legal and tax codes and stuff like that. Like I'm very knowledgeable in that. I'm always studying about that. How also can I protect my money?
Yeah.
And the reason being why I know this is because I've made some huge financial mistakes, and it made me grow. You know,
it's forced you're almost forced to learn, right?
Absolutely, forced to learn, for sure. And I'm extremely blessed to say that I've always climbed back out. Like a lot of people would say, like I'm known for comebacks.
Yeah.
Right. And I've never gone BK, but
don't want to go BK. That's what we're talking about here.
Yeah.
We don't want to go BK.
You don't.
Okay? Not Burger King. Okay.
What's BK?
Bankruptcy.
Bankrupt. Yeah.
Oh.
Don't want to go bankrupt. And
Yeah.
so now I have had to be like, look, this location is not going to work.
Yeah,
And
shut it down.
I have had to shut it down. I have had to burn that down. And I've rebuilt, started over.
Sometimes you got to do it.
Yeah, I've had to, I always say, pull back the curtain,
Yeah.
and make the change. But yeah, my biggest thing is like, if you're a business owner, hire someone that is key and dialed in.
Yeah.
And then do financial audits.
Yeah, for sure.
Every year.
Third party, maybe
Yeah,
have
a
somebody
third
else
party.
look at it.
Yep.
Because hey, if you don't know enough to hire somebody who knows enough, like you might hire somebody who doesn't know anything and you think they're doing their job and they're actually not.
Yeah.
So like you're saying, you know enough to know. You know enough to know, like, hey, this person is good enough for this job. And you could get yourself into a situation, and it's always good if you study all this stuff front to back. Like there's levels to this, and there's skill sets, like marketing skills, sales skills. If you're like 10% in all of these, well, maybe 20% or 25%, and you have enough skill set to know to hire somebody, you're going to be a lot better off. So
Yeah.
I like that though.
The other two thing I want to just add, when hiring, don't just make the decision yourself. Set them up. If you don't have someone up to help you, right? You're solo operator, just getting started. Have them set up an interview with your wife, or your mom, or maybe your dad, like someone that you trust, right? Someone that's like close to you could give you another opinion.
Yeah, another set of eyes. Yeah.
And it could be as simple as just a Zoom call. You don't have to do,
Right.
like have them sit down and do a meeting or whatever.
You could say, hey, I want you to meet my, you'd call him something, something fancy.
Yeah, I mean, I would just say, hey, I want you to meet Leslie.
My spousal,
my
spousal unit.
Yeah, like want you to meet Nancy. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I don't even have to say that.
Sure.
And then give them a series of questions to ask them. And I wish I would have learned that earlier on in life.
Yeah.
Because that really helped me with, because I get excited about people. Like I'm a big people person.
Yeah, you are.
Believe in people.
Yeah.
And so I'll be like, oh, he's so great, and everything, like, oh yeah, listen, he's gonna be great for this job.
Yeah.
And then I go back and then my my mom, right? It's like, whoa, no.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
definitely I would say have another, like, don't just make a decision by yourself. Have someone else do it. Doing that has allowed me to move pretty good and fast.
I got a question for you.
Yeah.
For the people at home, they're going to want to know this.
Yeah.
You had a lot of successes.
Right.
You've been through the ringer. You've had huge ups, huge downs, everything in between, learned tons of lessons. Once they solve this problem, and they get to the point where they're making like, hey, they have met the goal when they first started. They're like, dang, I made it to where I wanted to be. I'm taking home whatever, or I have the option to take home this much. For you, and I know you have, you've been very successful, but also at the same time, you kind of live humbly.
Yeah.
You do. Which for a lot of guys is like, they're like, well, in their head, they're like Lamborghini, Ferrari, mansion. You know what I mean?
But I have that.
Yeah, but you don't show that. You don't flex that stuff as
Right.
much as maybe some people online do, right?
Yeah.
But you can also afford that now where you're at.
Yeah, I have no loans.
Yeah. No, you're all cash.
Yeah.
You can afford it. You can go live that lifestyle and it won't make a dent, right?
Yeah.
But for the guys who are watching this that are like, they might be feeling like, okay, once I get there, how much should I be taking home? Should I be taking home, like, if my business is doing a net profit of $1 million, what's a reasonable income to take home, and how should they be thinking about growing the business and having their lifestyle as well be supported? Like, what are your views on that? I'm curious.
Yeah, I mean, I live off $57,000 a year.
Yeah.
So, and one, it's a strategy.
Sure.
Right.
Yeah.
I think if you really get to know me, you come to find out that I do things very different. But yeah, I only live off $57,000 a year, but I make a lot more than that.
Yep.
I might not personally make that, but I have great investments that I'm able to invest in.
You don't really touch all that.
I don't touch my money at all, actually. Which I think is another thing that I think is a secret to my success, and because I don't believe in touching the money, right? I have other people who pay my bills. I have other people who manage the money that I've set up and I know and trust, and think that they are wiser than me, right? And so I am always a student of money.
Yeah.
I do. I have houses. I have apartments. I have, that I've invested in, and it's not mine, right? Like, if you get to know me, but I have them. They make me money. They help me grow. All my cars, which is a large list of collections, but I rent them out. They make me money too.
Yeah.
And then I'm able to take that money and go reinvest it into something else. But yeah, I guess.
You think these guys should be like taking money out of their business willy-nilly and going and freaking buying whatever they want, or should they be more strategic about what their future looks like and taking that and investing it in different things?
Yeah, I think a lot of people live too large and out of envy, right? I like to live out of comfort. I mean, I've lived in some really sweet houses in Newport Beach, California, and I have some really, sweet like opportunities and everything like that. But I like being able to go wherever I want to go, whenever I want to go, and then not have to like worry about the stress. I see a lot of people, they take things out that they plan on paying back because they're making a lot of money, and I think that's what. And I shouldn't say a lot. That's also something that got me in trouble, at a younger age, was, hey, I had this much coming in every month, but, wasn't reinvesting it to produce me money either. I'd go out and get the sweet house, the Range Rover, all that, but I didn't think of it as like making me money. So anything that I buy now, I currently look at it as how can it make me money. And then also I do have things that I don't look at it as making me money, right? And so those things are kind of weird and everything like that, but those are more things that for me, like, I enjoy. Absolutely. I mean? One being horses. Yeah. So like, it's like,
well, I mean,
I guess like, I guess the horses kind of make money too, but
I mean, a farm is good for taxes, It's like, it's all.
Yeah. Golf course. So, Yeah, I mean, there's
It's very strategic.
It's
very
very
strategic.
yeah. I'm really weird like that,
No.
but I think
That's why we're doing this, though.
yeah.
You know? We don't want to talk about tax strategy or anything like that, but I think there's a lot of guys. You see a lot of guys with the Rolex, and that's cool. Like, I think you should definitely, if you want to flex, like, and you have a need to flex, do it. But what people might realize is that you could get into a scenario where you've sucked all the money out of your business, and are the people around you winning too? You know, if you're the only one winning, it's, you know, it doesn't look good. People aren't going to want to be around you either. But you can really take your business down if you're focused more on yourself rather than the goal and investing into your future and building that business up.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I really, the other side of things too, I look at people,
Mm-hmm.
you know, is there people that I can invest in that I believe in? But on the backside of things, I look at those people too. Can they make me money?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so, sounds horrible, but yeah, I mean, I buy, like, you know, like you see it, I buy a house. It's like, well, how much is that money? You know, how much is that going to,
How much is it working for me?
yeah, exactly. You know, if
Yeah.
I buy a boat, how much is it going to work for me? Right.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, hey, Captain John, how much can I make here? You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. It's got to make sense. I mean, and I feel like the money is kind of like the scoreboard. It's like the output of how you measure success with an opportunity. It's like, it's not about necessarily like how much more can I spend with this money, but you've like knowing the number of, hey, this is the output, and hey, this is a great investment. I want to invest in this person. If they're going to make me this much, like, hey, that's a great investment. It's going to grow them. It's going to grow me. It's going to grow the whole team. You know what I mean? So everybody wins, and we're on our path to building stuff. And it's like, I know you love just building. You're a builder, visionary, and you know, that's the money is the metric on the scoreboard that tells you if you're doing well or not at the end of the day.
The other thing too about money, one thing that I truly believe everyone should do more of is, once you have that money, be generous.
Yeah.
And give away things, right? Like, I love supporting like, you know, Christian ministries, right? You know, we were down in Arizona. There was one guy who's starting a church in Las Vegas. And I just was like, man, that was
awesome.
Super cool. Like, you know, here's money to, you know, go do that, right?
I think for the guys who are watching this, who are in a position where you're kind of going on the hamster wheel, if you're just kind of a solo operator, you know, you have maybe a crew and you're just trying to build a sales team, maybe that's the next thing, and you are looking for help with that, we can be your guys. We can help you out with that because, hey, we've built the teams. We know the structure, and a lot of guys just don't know the structure of how this is all put together. Not just talking about financial stuff, but also the literal structure within your business. How many sales people you need to hire to make this much money to be able to afford a team so that you can kind of step back from what you're doing, not be sitting in the truck all day, not having to get on the roof, not having to go deal with customer complaints. Now you got to dip into your company fund if that's what you're dealing with right now, right? So if you're a roofer and you're struggling right now with that, click the button in the description here on the video and go find us. You contact us through that, and we can chat, because we're here to help you guys, and we're here to increase the level of professionalism in the roofing industry. Yeah. So
we're here to help you we're here to give you smart roofer systems.
Absolutely. That's what this is for.
This is what it stands for.
Smart roofer systems.
And we want you to succeed, you know, and that is, it's not just envy. We want you to win.
Yeah.
And I want people to win. And the only way that I can make that big, scary goal, you know, of mine to go out and help more men is if you win.
Yep.
So,
and you can. You just need the information. It's it's information that you don't have yet, which we have and we can give to you, right? Yeah. So we're creating winners, and that's what it's all about.
Yes.
Yep.
All right. Well, hey, keep on working hard. Keep slamming those nails.
Keep slamming those nails.
Laying those shingles.
We'll see you.
See ya.
Ooh, yeah.